Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 4 of Operation Torch Genie in a Bottle. Thank you for joining us for the final part of Festima's Fighting First's debut op. I'm Alexander Thomas, and as always, I will be your humble game master. If this is your first stream with us, welcome to Titan City. Titan City is the setting of my novel series, The Titan City Chronicles. It is a golden age superhero meets urban fantasy setting where supernatural heroes are just as likely to tangle with costumed villains as they are monsters from myth. Tonight, we will be playing Mutants Mastermind's 3rd edition, the world's greatest superhero RPG, developed by the folks over at Green Ronin Publishing. We have a daring group of heroes gathered tonight. Say hello, heroes.
Hello, heroes.
Hello, heroes.
Hello, heroes.
If you want to know more about them, please head over to our social media pages or ask them on our Discord channel. Needless to say, they are all wonderful, even as they bully a Nazi teenager into giving them what they want. I'd say probably especially as they bully a Nazi teenager.
We're getting canceled, guys.
So tonight we are going to be testing out a couple of polls in our Twitch chat. Please keep an eye out for those and be sure to vote in them. This is one way we're trying to gauge your guys' feedback to see what you think is working and what our greatest areas of improvement are. At the end of the day, our channel is here for you, and we want to make sure we are bringing quality entertainment that is tailored for you, the fans. So please keep an eye out in the chat for that. There will be a couple of things popping by. It should be super easy to vote, Braden, right? They just click something or type something?
Yeah, here goes the bot.
Oh, here comes the robot.
I think. Something went wrong. Oh, never mind. Bot recovered. Maybe it'll say something?
I love when we get the drones to come back into our fold.
There should be a poll going, TM. I'm not sure how it shows up, though.
I haven't seen anything, but
Will it appear in the chat?
It should.
okay. So it's only going to certain members. Alex, start us off.
Awesome. So, without further ado, let's get started. Last week, we rejoined Festima's Fighting First as they rolled into a strange facility in the desert. They found the Axis building a land-based battleship. They were building such a thing until everyone involved was seemingly killed by a flesh-eating virus. They investigated the area and came to blows with Garat and his robo-commandos. After a lengthy battle, they captured the young boy and forced him to reveal Dr. Nochin's nefarious plan. Apparently, the good doctor plans to ritually sacrifice hundreds of locals and use their blood to unlock the power of a magic lamp. If she were to do such a thing, the genie trapped inside would grant her 3 wishes. The Fighting First compelled Garat to build them a means to enter the Shadowlands, and we rejoin our heroes as they take that massive leap across dimensions, turning World War II into Dimension War 1. So, hot desert air falls away, leaving all of you in a cool black abyss. Air rushes around you, and you feel your grip on your comrades pull slowly apart. Your lungs push into your chest, and pressure fills your body. The inky black void tears through you, leaving chills in your heart and soul. Your grip relinquishes, and you begin to enter a free fall. A few minutes pass of this sort of rushing sensation of everything moving just around you. You feel time and space stretching as you land, coming to a crash in the center of this black, sort of inky abyss. And all of you have been separated. Looking around, first we'll go with Mur. Mur, you come to land on top of this cathedral, it looks like. You're sort of on the spire, or on the buttress of this massive spire at the top of the cathedral, and you feel your feet sunk into place. You look around, you see there's a couple other gargoyles that look like you, but you are petrified alongside them. It's sort of similar to your astral projection form, but it's not you're not able to snap out of it, so to speak. You're aware and you're trapped inside your stone body looking around.
Can she astral, or can I astral project?
You cannot.
Ooh, she's one frustrated puppy. Do I recognize the cathedral?
You do. It is the St. Gabriel Cathedral in Titan City.
Okay.
Which is the seat of the Catholic Diocese in Titan City proper. sort of a very ancient Gothic style cathedral. It's, thousands of people will come here every week for mass.
What can I see? Is there any motion? Can I tell what time of day it is, season, if anything? Like what's around me? What can I at least perceive?
Give me a perception check.
Coming at you. That'll be a 25.
With a 25 perception check, you're sort of reaching out with your other senses, since you can't really move your head. You're listening out, and you're even sort of honing in on the way the sun, quote unquote, feels on your stone skin. It does feel like it is winter time. Looking around as best you can, the sky is incredibly gray and rolls over you almost like you're underwater, is the sensation you get. There's sort of these big gray clouds rolling by, and off in the distance you can hear sort of a low drone of aircraft.
Okay. Is there anything that I can do? She would be rattling around, frozen, doing everything she can to break out of this because she can't see her party members. She can't feel her pack. She doesn't know if they're okay. She doesn't know. So that is panicking her.
Mm-hmm.
So is there anything that she can do to break out of this petrification?
Give me a strength check.
Ooh. That's going to be a 5.
So she's struggling and trying to break out of the stone petrification. And as you're struggling, worried about your pack, looking out around you as these airplanes are moving closer, you finally see some movement down in the courtyard far below you, hundreds of feet down. There's these sort of shadowy figures panicking and running into the cathedral, yelling for sanctuary, yelling for peace, and they're moving their way through, battering down the doors. You see they've got small children with them, elderly people, all moving together as just a mass of just crushing, breaking bodies, trying to get into this church in a mad dash for safety.
Okay, so she is going to stop, take a deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. She is going to say a prayer to St. Michael, and she is going to burn a hero point to attempt that again.
Awesome.
And how does Myrrh feel? Oh, that's a 20.
20 is much better.
Much better.
So Myrrh, you burn that hero point. You say this. What is your prayer to St. Michael?
It is and what it is, I don't want to be disrespectful to Catholicism, but it is a standard battle prayer, guide us in our darkest hour, things of that nature, give me the strength to, give me the strength to, defeat the foes of darkness, yada, 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 of that effect.
Perfect. So you pray and you just start flexing and straining and praying, and the stone up along your arms begins to crack up to your elbows, up to your shoulder. I don't know if dogs have elbows, knees. I don't know.
Yeah, it works.
Up along your body, and you start to grit your teeth and try to break free. And as you're doing that, the stone shatters around your arms and legs, and that's when the Nazi bombers arrive. And you see them just overhead as they start dropping bomb after bomb after bomb on this cathedral. And you can see the shadowy people exploding. You hear the kids screaming out for anybody to save them, anyone who can. And looking up, you see that these bombers and these zeppelins have come from who knows where. And you finally manage to shatter yourself free from your bonds.
Okay, so I have full mobility?
You have full mobility.
Oh, the tear between finding my pack and trying to help the people. She's going to have to focus on the citizenry beneath her. So that is going to be swooping down, interposing anywhere that she can, trying to get as many individuals as she can into the cathedral. I mean, it is a mad dash of her running back and forth, hurling under buildings that are toppling over, things of that nature.
Awesome. Perfect. I want you to roll for this. Let's see how well you hero.
Oh, hero roll.
I wish there was an expertise hero check. You know what? Let's go ahead and just roll a d20 plus 5.
Ooh. All right. So I'm
You're
gonna
gonna
hit
base
the
it off of your
D20.
flight speed.
Okay. 17 total.
17 total. Okay, so you're swooping through these buildings. You're swooping down. You're grabbing as many people, and making yourself a barrier between them and certain destruction. And you manage to get a couple of the faceless people into the church. And as they're all being sort of swarmed in, you look back and you see that there's people that you're just missing, that you're just not able to save. You're not fast enough. And as you sort of leap out to get somebody else, part of the cathedral collapses on top of you and pins you in place. And you start to hear the marching of the German boots coming this way and the tanks rolling this direction.
So pinned in place, she's twisting, she's writhing, and there's this really deep, agonizing sound that's emitting from like her chest and her throat. But it isn't of actual pain. It's a different type of agony because she feels like she's failing these people. She's not prone to feeling helplessness, and this is the epitome of helplessness for her.
Oh, you're going to start a howl.
She's definitely going to start a very low or very loud, agonizing howl as she's thrashing, trying to get these rocks and this rubble off of her, tearing at her wing as she's like, I'll lose whatever I have to try to get out from underneath this.
Awesome. So, with you pinned down and with the Germans coming, we sort of float through the Shadowlands looking for the next member of Festima's fighting first. And we come swirling down onto the strange Cyclopean island, adrift in the sea of rolling green and effervescent gold water. And we see Leon standing basically at the precipice of this, at the foot of this massive, sort of strange Euclidean geometric structure. Calling it a building seems to imply a lot of things, like somebody with a plan built it. So I don't know if I want to call it that, but it is
it's a structure. It
is a structure of some kind. Golden with a massive face carved in that sort of leads to the door.
Hmm. Is Leon familiar with this place?
Leon's only seen something like it once when he fell into the ocean.
Gotcha.
All that time ago.
Yeah. He will take a look around. If they're seeing nothing really outside of the blackness and the structure in front of him, he will make his way inside of it.
Awesome. As you're moving along, you can sort of feel almost like something's carrying you forward, almost like there's fingers running along the base and the bottoms of your feet. It almost tickles, but in an uncomfortable way as you're moving up along through this stone. It's very solid, but you can feel something pushing up like against a membrane, trying to reach out and grab you. And every now and then in the shadows, you see just a coiled tentacle roll slowly through this strange Cyclopean landscape.
Okay. Little unnerved, but this is all part of the new fun stuff that he's dealing with. He makes his way inside.
Awesome. And as you make your way inside, you see that this structure appears to be some kind of palace. You come into this main throne room with a long, red, stitched together carpet that leads up to this huge stone throne that is currently empty. There's columns leading all the way down. There's a couple of doorways in the various shadows. Some of them look like pretty standard doorways. Some of them have the sheen of sort of like this scintillating light and glass that sort of moves over along the sides of it.
He'll walk up to the throne, look around. Does he see anybody?
Give me a perception check.
Okay. Perception. Be a 15.
Awesome. With the 15 perception, you're sort of looking around. You don't see anybody, but you do hear from one of the doorways off to your right, you hear a couple of voices, sort of hushed voices chatting. On the throne itself, as you're looking around, you do notice, as you get closer to it, it looks like there are names and dates just sort of etched all the way down on either side of the armrests. You see various names, and the dates range basically across recorded history and before. You see a couple of dates that don't line up with any format you recognize as being a date. And you come down to yours, and you do see that Leon Venson is at the bottom of this armrest. And you see it says 1939 to 1942.
Okay. Can a little unnerved by that, but he'll. Did the voices continue?
Yeah, it sounds like they are. As you sort of tune in, you start to recognize what they're talking about. It sounds like an induction ceremony, similar to what you went through when you first came here.
I'd like to make my way closer, if possible.
Awesome. So you start making your way over to that darkened doorway, passing through. It's one of the ones that's just sort of shrouded in darkness, not one of the ones with the scintillating glass.
Yeah.
And as you come sort of pushing through, the darkness is thick, almost like a curtain that you have to push your way through. And as you do, you feel the darkness slide down you like a tentacle. There's just the suckers pulling against your skin, trying to suckle on you. And just past there is this massive library that you come into with ancient books of esoteric knowledge as you're looking around. And at the far end, you can see there is an Italian man standing in front of this massive figure coated in a long yellow robe that ends in tentacles at the bottom. And his face is basically just almost like a Slender Man face, except peeled back with raw, glittering muscle, skin moved up over the brow, bald. And he has his hands on the shoulder of the Italian gentleman in front of him. And they seem to be in rigorous discussion.
Can I make out the details of the discussion now that I'm past the veil?
Yeah, give me another perception check.
18.
So sort of listening in, trying to tune in a little bit more now that you're in the same room as them. You can hear Haster, the faceless god in yellow, saying, and that is why I must move on to a new chosen one on Earth. I have been failed by Leon. He is useless to me with his sense of justice and his willingness to serve a cause of liberty and peace.
Have you asked more of me?
He looks up as you address him. My intentions when I rescued you from that water were not to go and prance about as a weapon of those who would see freedom. You were to awaken me, to spread
How can I
misery
do
and
that
woe.
if there are not tools to do it with?
There are tools to do it with.
The one I'm getting?
Like my friend here, and he gestures to the Italian gentleman. He works for the evil ones. He works for the ones who spread destruction, devastation in their wake. Not those who lie about it. Cowards. Cowards, you say.
Cowards, I do say.
Well then.
Hello. Hi, sorry.
Uh-oh.
He's got zoomies. Sorry.
Gotta love dogs.
Yep. But
Awesome. So,
as he says that, so when you rescued me from the bottom of the channel, and you detected that I was to be something,
you were to be my instrument.
1 second, I'm closing the door.
Oh, it's okay.
Do. Intermission music.
Let's go out to the lobby. Let's go out to the. Oh, sorry.
Oh God, it's so horrible.
From the snack slip.
All right.
So, he kind of looks and goes, so you mean to say that the best way to achieve tools is to work with those that work in the name of freedom, but also then cause far more destruction than what they try to save?
Well,
Working for evil ones who are cowards. Because I have seen many reports from the Italians and the French resistance that accompany them. The Italians do not work with evil ones. They bend the knee. And they would bend the knee to whoever promises them power. You just got to him first.
Hester kind of looks at the Italian guy, and he scowls. It's hard to tell without a face, but you feel just the energy change in his body. He says,
Slight wrinkling of where the forehead would be.
He says, well, in that case, I suppose we have a challenge on our hands because I can only let one of you loose from here.
Sure, and I'll shoot him.
Awesome. So I will cycle back as the yawn opens fire on the Italian guy.
I assume I still have my pistol on me. Bold assumptions. I apologize if that's not the case.
No, you still do. Don't worry.
Cool.
That's what's up. Bang, bang, bang. Awesome. So cycling on through the Shadowlands, we find coursing through this dark dimension, we come to another member of Festimus Fighting First. And we find Trace standing on a Titan City street corner underneath a single street lamp, bathing the area in sort of this cool white light as she looks around. You're a younger version of yourself as you're looking around, not so jaded with the world, not so stepped on just yet. And you're on your way home from school.
Looking around, just kind of something feels off, but I can't quite place what it is. So just going to continue working back towards the orphanage.
Mm-hmm.
Which one is it this week? Oh yeah, that one. Okay.
And as you're making your way, you do notice that you have a traveling companion with you, who is a friend that you had in your youth that you barely remember these days. He seems to have drifted away. But now, standing in front of you, he's as clear as day. His name is Thompson. And from what you could tell, he's some kind of orc, some kind of goblin. But you and him have been thick as thieves in the orphanage because you guys arrived at the same time a few years back. And he kind of looks at you. He's got books on. He's got books in his chest. He pushes his glasses up. He says, "What are we getting up to tonight, Trace?"
I hadn't quite decided yet, but I think we're sneaking out after curfew.
What are we gonna do? I'm excited about this.
I think we're gonna go. I don't know. I want to go see a section of the town we haven't seen. Maybe we should go see Club Tartarus.
Do you think they'd let us in there?
No, I don't think they'd let us in there, but we could try to sneak in there.
It's got a magic door. How do you want to do that?
I make things up as I go along. You know that. At the very least, we can go see it. If I can't figure anything out, we'll come back. Just don't let the sister know.
Okay, yeah. You're so crazy. I don't know how I let you rope me into doing all these things with you.
Yeah, well, I'm fun, right?
I think you're fun. And
She'll-
he sort of greenly blushes to himself.
She'll punch him in the shoulder and say, "Come on, we got to get back so we can, make sure we've got everything set up so they think we're still in bed when we actually leave."
Awesome. And you take off, running sort of ahead of him a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And as you're running ahead of him, you do see he begins to not be able to keep pace as much. He's not quite as fit as you are. And he stops on a corner to catch his breath. And as he does, a bunch of human kids come around the corner. And they immediately lock onto him as a target. They start moving his direction, and they sort of start, "Hey, what's up, tusk face? What are you doing out here, nerd, all by yourself? This is a human part of town. Maybe you monsters should go back and live under a bridge or something, you goddamn troll."
He's not a troll. He's an orc. Leave him be.
Oh, there's a difference? What are you supposed to be, like his orchette?
No. Can't even tell a snake when you see one.
They all sort of look at each other, and they begin picking up pipes and rocks and whatever they can find. "This isn't your problem, snake lady."
You're making it my problem.
Oh, you want to fight? Is that what you want?
We were just passing through. You're the ones that picked up the rocks. You start something, you better be able to finish it.
You were just passing through human parts of town. You know better than to come around here.
There's no such thing as human parts of town. It's town.
That's because every part of town is a human part of town. You guys should go back and live in closets or under beds or wherever you creatures live.
Ooh, you want someone living under your bed? I mean, if you keep pissing it, no one's going to want to live there.
They throw a rock at your friend Thompson.
What, you're going to pick on the one that's not fighting back? I see how it is. Bunch of cowards.
What are you going to do?
She will basically walk up to the one that's been talking to her and shove her face in his face.
Awesome.
Well,
yeah, you get up in his face. He's going to hit you in the head with a rock if you can.
If you can.
Use it a shot. He gets a 20 to hit your parry DC.
My parry DC, that will hit.
Holy cow.
A good rock.
It's a brave kid. It was a big rock.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Please give me a toughness save.
A toughness save of 11.
That's a bruise and a daze.
Okay.
So
She
he
wasn't
hits you.
actually expecting him to fight back that way.
Yeah, he just cold cocks you so hard in the head with a rock.
All right.
And a couple of his friends jump on Thompson, and a whole fight breaks out in the street.
Okay.
And we can narrate what happens. We don't have to roll for it.
Yeah, no, I'd like to... Trace would probably bite him.
Oh, no.
Since she's right there. And then wiggle free of him to grab Thompson and start running.
Awesome. So, yeah, you bite him. Are you poisoning him?
It's a paralytic, so... Yes.
So... Oh, that snake bitch poisoned me! And he falls on the ground. He starts foaming at the mouth and shaking.
Again,
And,
it's just a paralytic.
As far as you know, that's what it does.
It's just
He gets paralyzed and falls to his death. Who?
Hey,
else
you
does
just
that?
paralyze his lungs so they can't get it.
So yeah, he is not in a good way, it seems. But you and Thompson sort of take off running, and Thompson pulls his hand away from you, and he looks at you, and you see he's got this like scared look in his eyes towards you.
What?
You heard those people.
Hello? She kind of shows him her forehead and kind of gestures to him being completely and utterly scruffed up. They started it.
It doesn't mean we get to end it. You know, we have to turn the other cheek, okay? We can't just go picking fights with humans whenever we want.
I didn't pick a fight with a human whenever I wanted to. I stood up for myself. I stood up for you.
You might have killed that kid.
No, it doesn't work.
What do you think's going to happen when he calls the cops? You weren't thinking. I don't think I can be friends with you anymore. And he sort of brushes past you.
What? What?
Leaving poor Trace sort of confused and alone underneath a street light in Titan City. Meanwhile, elsewhere in the Shadow Realm, Hal, we sort of come swiping on through, and Hal, you find yourself back in a memory that you thought you'd long suppressed. You know, you're sitting connected to a monitor, and you feel that the readings, that the people watching you don't know that you're aware of what they're talking about. And you see this sort of senior officer, you hear him sort of saying, this lack of emotional processing, it's a problem. It should have little effect on his performance. His pre-transformation affections for his friends and family, as well as his patriotic tendencies, seem to be hardwired into his brain chemistry. The lack of new emotional development should not cause any problems. In fact, we may see significantly improved operational periods without burnouts because of stress. You're not looking at the big picture, the elder answers sort of sourly. The biometric data indicates Fisher will live for a very long time. What happens when everyone he has an emotional attachment to is dust and ashes? What happens if the United States undergoes a cultural shift and no longer represents the ideals he's loyal to? What can we expect from a being operating without any emotional drives? Can we still be sure he'll serve our interests? It would be best if we put contingencies in place should he become unmanageable. And you feel them getting closer to you, and sort of you hear something emerge from a syringe. And you hear sort of the steel moving. What would you like to do?
If this is reliving a memory, do I recall what happens next?
As far as you remember what happened next, you did not react to it. You let them inject you with something.
Okay.
But they never mentioned what the injection was.
I will try to but I remember, so this is a memory of very early in my transformation, but I remember, right up to the moment we entered this dimension and the various things I've learned to do with my powers and things, correct?
Correct.
I would like to stunt my electric, like my blast, instead of a pulse, just sort of an internal electrical pulse to try and break down the chemical bonds of whatever it is they're injecting.
Mm-hmm.
If I sort of stunt, or call that a scene edit or whatever you want, to just sort of break it down. The heat's here.
Are you trying to
Oh, child.
identify what it is, or are you just trying to make sure it doesn't go into you?
Both, if I can primarily break it down, but as a secondary, if I can also somehow identify what it was supposed to do.
Awesome. That sounds like a hero point or
Yes.
extra effort.
You know what? I'll extra effort because I should be tired coming out of a hell dimension.
That makes sense. Ooh, what a way to be. Please give me a technology check or a treatment check, whichever one's better. I think they're equal for you.
They are equal. But since I'm doing sort of medical things with my powers, I'll call that treatment.
Awesome.
And that's a 23.
With a 23, you sort of, concentrate your electrical energy into your body as the needle goes in, and you basically disperse this chemical agent as it enters you. And you sort of, using the feeling of the chemicals sort of reaching into that ionic bonds and all the stuff that you're using to dissipate it, you're able to put together sort of a rough idea of what this is. It appears to be some kind of hormonal treatment they were trying to subject you to. You're not sure if the hormone is meant to make you more emotional or to make you more compliant. But it does appear to be some kind of hormonal treatment the government has injected into you.
Okay. I guess just otherwise do the best I can to sort of replay the scene. Like if I didn't react, or if I did wake up, just sort of try and play the rest of the scene out as it occurred in my memory.
In your memory, you think you may have passed out after they injected you with that.
Okay. With my, with my biorhythm so kind of low anyway, just sort of feign unconsciousness and see what happens next.
You do hear them sort of shuffling around, moving around. And you hear the scientist who's working on you. He begins to speak at length about some plans the United States government has for you and other people like you. He's like, we're going to be, our intention is to use these creatures to help equalize the technological advantage the Germans have right now. We have more supernatural beings in our nation than anywhere else in the world. We have more superpowered people as well. So we should be able to equalize that playing field. And then after the war, whatever the director wants to get up to with these creatures, in regards to making some sweeping changes around here, that's between the director and the creatures. And this, and you hear him sort of flick the syringe. Our job is to make sure they're compliant with whatever the director says. And as you're sort of listening, you think you recognize that second voice, that second researcher voice. You think that's Preston Harrison's voice, your guys' liaison to the U.S. government.
That's the one who's saying it's between the director and us.
Yes.
Am I feeling any differently having gone this route? Am I sort of, I don't know, I've become accustomed to not having emotions. Am I, since and again, I don't know if this is an illusion or a playback or what's happening.
So as you're hearing this, dissipating that hormone before it entered your body in this memory or whatever this might be, this nightmare, this situation, you do feel something that you haven't felt since you went into the water, since you've sort of gone through this transformation. Somewhere deep in the back of your sort of fish lizard brain, there's a peak of anger. Sort of this emotional nugget that you can hold on to, this sort of red hot rage that sort of bubbles up through your central nervous system, and you feel your palms secrete a little bit more than usual. You feel things tense. Um, your blood pressure rises ever so slightly, and as that happens, you do hear them stop talking, and you feel their body mass in the room shift to face you on the table. Meanwhile, elsewhere in the Shadowlands, we sort of float on off to Hobbs, who was the person wearing the soul vault when it disintegrated. Hobbs, you feel the sort of twisted, broken metal, ripped into your chest as you sort of crash into the sand of the Sahara. Again, with this sort of rolling gray underwater sky above you, but still the heat of the desert is offset by some kind of like humid, wet, just unpleasant feeling as you're moving through it. As far as you can tell, you've been wandering in this desert alone for years. There's a gnawing sort of pit in your stomach that just longs to be filled by something. And every time you get moving in a direction you think you know where you are, you seem to come back to this spot. You've been looking around, you've been moving around for years now in the desert trying to get out. And everywhere that you go seems to lead you back to your impact site here in the Shadowlands. What would you like to do?
Like to swear at Mark. We'll just hop into another dimension. We'll just use the Nazis' toy. We're gonna be fine. Is there even a sun, or is it just heat?
It's just heat. There's no sun in the sky, but you feel something cold and alien that is sun-like somewhere deep in the vast reaches of space beyond you.
So no matter what, I keep looping back to the same spot, huh?
Yeah, and that's odd for you. You're usually really good at escaping the desert.
There's no sun, no stars. There's nothing else around.
Nope. Not for hundreds of miles.
That is some bullshit. I don't know what to do with my life. You know
The
what?
only thing that seems to be traveling with you is just this unending hunger.
Since going forward or backwards hasn't been working for years, I'm gonna start going down until I can't go down any further.
Interesting solution to an interesting problem. You begin burrowing down, just digging. And the farther down you go, the hotter it gets. Until you start to, break through the sand and the dirt, and you start to hit sort of where the mantle is going to be, where the crust is, as you're digging through. And at the very bottom of this tunnel that you're digging, you find the first being that you can interact with in years of you being lost here in the desert. You see Mark tucked away in this little tunnel down here with a... Well, Mark, what kind of look do you have on your face?
Of course he does.
Mark, what kind of bullshit is this? I'm gonna take my claw and just shave off my alligator beard.
Well, this is like Tuesday? What day is it?
It's
Tuesday.
been Tuesday for 5 years, Mark.
Oh.
Where the hell am I?
Well, you're in the nightmare. You're in the shadow. The lake. Shadowlands. The place where all your nightmares come true. Should have held my hand.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry.
Little
I didn't
tighter.
hold your hand when everybody got sucked into my chest.
All I'm saying.
Well, all I'm saying is, can you get me out of this hell pit?
Can I?
The answer to that question is yes, Mark. You are able to move sort of freely through this dimension.
Yeah, here, watch this. And I'm just gonna grab Hobbs and just zoop, over to a nice oasis filled with people. It's like somebody else's nightmare that Hobbs shows up at this oasis, so it's fitting. Go ahead and eat.
I don't think these
Get you-
people are reals, Mark.
I mean, does your stomach know that?
Stomach's connected to me. I know that. It's gonna be one of those things where I bite into it. It's just gonna be dust in my mouth.
Look, this isn't your nightmare anymore. This is their nightmare.
I don't think any of these people are bad people.
Let me think. And I'm gonna grab his hand again and see if I can find anybody having nightmares about the train station that we totally destroyed.
Yes, you can definitely find somebody who's having nightmares about that.
Look, this guy's almost definitely a Nazi, okay?
Yeah, I can work with that. And I will go ahead and just put in a little bit of foreplay. Just grow to my Goliath form and just pick him up and just drop him in my mouth.
I'll- So Hobbs begins snacking. And Mark, you are free to go and find the rest of your squad if you want to bring them back to this nightmare, or if you want to pick a different nightmare to make us the central meeting point.
Well, I don't know what everybody else's nightmare looks like. I would probably start with... Who do I think has the least interesting nightmare? Probably Myrrh. So I'm... who does Mark think that would have the least interesting nightmare? I'm gonna feel around to see if I can get the psychic feelings of the people in my squad out there in the Shadowlands.
Perfect. Please give me a perception check.
All right, that is a 15.
Awesome. So you start sending out your psychic awareness, and the only member of the group that you're able to sort of get a bead on is Myrrh. She's pretty adjacent to the Nazi nightmare that you invaded.
Hey, I'm gonna be right back. You keep eating, I guess.
No. I've been alone long enough.
Aww.
Don't awe me. You knew I was here. You left me here.
I mean, I was having fun.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'll
Look.
grab Mark's hand.
And I'll just zoop.
Awesome. So you guys zoop on over. Myrrh, you are still pinned underneath this cathedral outcropping, looking up as the boots and the Nazis and the tanks are coming this way to butcher all the sweet, innocent people that you're trying to protect.
And she is barking orders at him, leave him alone, put her down, and her right wing is about 80% severed from her literally ripping it off from under the weight of these rocks. She is going to get free, damn it.
Oh. So, yeah, you're ripping your own body apart trying to get free out of this terrible situation. And that's when you see Mark's smiling face riding on top of one of the tanks.
Oh,
Wait a second. Wait. He's on top of one of the inbound tanks?
He sure is.
Forward, soldiers.
In a sheer moment of disbelief and a level of betrayal that is like completely incomprehensible to her, that like somebody that she loved, one of her packmates, she's gonna soul smite him.
Oh no!
Like the wing is almost off. One more good rip and she would be out of here. She'd be a one-winged puppy. But really, you're coming in? She soul smites. I'll go find my sheet.
Take that, you she devil.
And that is going to be a 14 total.
Well, it is a perception-based power, so you just have to be able to see him. So, boom.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah, he has to roll a will save. So Mark, roll a will save, DC 20.
22.
Well done.
So, Mark, it hits you. What does it look like, Mur, as you cast this Soul Strike?
The rosary that she actually has around her neck is going to illuminate, and as that last little tear and her wing is hanging on, this just powerful energy just radiates off of her. Has a slight golden tinge to it, just to be, Catholicism campy, but it just literally just blasts out with them as this Holy Ghost energy surges on through and around them.
Mark, what would you like to do?
Yeah, so I guess I see it coming, and I'm like, oh, okay. And
I was kidding.
since this is a nightmare, do I have like creative control here?
You do have creative control here.
I'm just gonna all right, and I'm just gonna reach out and crumple up the tank like it was a ball of paper and just like flick it away. You can get up now, and just all the rocks are gone.
And all while this crank is tumbling, you're listening to her chastising you from here to high heaven. I mean, it's like, you betrayed your pack, you betrayed your country. What? And then you've got classic puppy head tilt when the tank finally compounds down.
It's only been like 5 minutes.
Can I attack him? Can I just run it? Can I charge him?
Yeah, you can charge him.
You want to roll for that?
Well, we'll handle it narratively.
We'll roll in there. Yeah, so she is full speed going at her as that last wing rips off.
I feel like Mark's just gonna get hit.
So there are like streams of gravel falling out of the wound. There's streams of gravel coming down her face as she's crying. And as soon as she collides with Mark, he is getting uncomfortably licked from head to his little green toes.
Oh.
This is a gravelly, wet, uncomfortably stony lick.
I thought
as
this
many
was.
as she can get in.
I thought this was gonna go differently.
Is this your nightmare? If she starts mounting you, will that be your nightmare?
No, bad dog. Bad.
Off. Bad puppy.
Just keep that necklace.
Like that, the stream went off the rails.
just keep that necklace away from you, okay? We can go right back to where we were.
Hobbs is here too, right?
Yeah, you do see him start to come up from behind where all the Nazis were before they crumbled into paper soldiers.
Hobbs gets all of that action too.
You okay, man?
It's just licking you in the face. You're okay. Oh my goodness, you're okay. You're okay. You're alive.
Yeah, hopefully we're all alive. Mark's been letting us play around in our headscape or a hellscape. He's just been ignoring us.
But did you learn something?
Yes, I learned that apparently digging down is my solution to everything.
And it took you 5 years to come up with that. I mean, like, minute, years, whatever it was.
You left him in a nightmare for 5 years?
I mean, he thought it was 5 years.
You left him in a nightmare for 5 years, Mark?
I was busy.
Doing what? That's unfathomable.
Yeah, Mark, tell her how you were at the bottom of the hole I was digging 5 years later.
Well, look. Have you ever been in a hole? It's very comfortable.
Me, the Mr. Alligator Digger Man, have I ever been in a hole?
If she can,
right
she's
now.
gonna stand over him with her head straight down and nose bump him. You need to get everyone else right now.
That was the plan.
Here, Mer, we gotta hold hands like Kubayash.
Do it right this time, because You know, I don't want to get chastised for like 10 minutes next time. I don't know, 2 minutes.
We get it. Time works differently. Please get me out of here.
Shoop.
Awesome. This time you head over to Leon Vincent's nightmare. Leon, you have been locked in Mortal Kombat with this Italian guy, with Haster, the god in yellow, looking down at all of you.
Locked implies that I didn't want to be here.
That's true. That's true. You are fighting for your patron's grace.
Proving
Boys.
a point.
Grace is a
Rewards?
strong word.
Grace is a very strong word.
Your patron's patronage. I'm not sure.
I'm fighting to prove a point. Leon's fighting to prove a point.
Leon is fighting to prove a point. That's what I like. So yeah, you're sort of fighting this guy, and as you're fighting him, you do look up and you see sitting on top of Haster's head is Mark.
I figured you'd be a little more, I don't know, scared.
No. This isn't new for me.
Does this even actually classify as a nightmare?
In a sense.
Here, you got this, and you look down and it's just a way bigger gun. It's the same gun, but just enormous.
Initially big.
Yeah.
For that would actually work because it's World War II. Sorry, I was just thinking of there's a comically large M1911A1 pistol and a VR game that I'm aware of that is just basically a rocket launcher. Anyway, I'm just imagining that off the top of my head. He's like, do I need to shoot this guy some more? Do I need to shoot you some more?
He sort of looks at you and looks up at Haster, and Haster senses in his mind that the answer to that question is going to be no. So Haster just snaps his fingers and erases him from whatever dimension you guys are in. Says, Leon, I knew that you would fight for my patronage, and I appreciate you.
That's what it takes.
Go forth and remember to keep doing my bidding, and not just the bidding of that demonstrous Roosevelt.
Well, we all know where my allegiances lie.
He nods his faceless head, and you guys disappear.
Thanks for the pickup.
No problem. How long were you there? If anybody asks, say like a minute or two, okay?
I was going to say like 15, 10.
Okay. Whatever it is, as long as it's not 5 years, we're good.
Did you take 5 years to get somebody else?
Yes and no. Okay, it's complex.
Yeah, it's 5 years for them.
I mean, look, if I was in a desert, I would choose to dig down in a hole. That's like the first thing I would do, okay?
Mm-hmm. And Hobbs, I'm assuming, didn't?
Oh, I did after 5 years, apparently.
After 5 years. Yeah. Okay. Well, as long as it got sorted, we're all here now.
Also, Leon, everybody else was dealing with fake people. That guy seemed pretty real.
He might have been. He's not
Is that
anymore.
your sugar daddy?
Oh, the other guy with the face?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, kind of. It's an impersonation of him. But
Oh, I get it. It's the 1930s. You don't want to call him sugar daddy.
oh, I can totally call him sugar daddy if I want to. You already said it, though. I don't need to repeat myself.
Here, we gotta hold circles. We gotta hold hands in a circle to get out of here.
All right.
Yeah, this is the worst part. And shoot.
Mark sitting around a campfire singing Kumbaya, going, God, I hate this. This is my nightmare.
My
Meanwhile,
independence.
Murs just got tail wagging going and just super excited to be
Just
there.
super happy. Her pack is coming back. Her pack is coming back.
So, Mark, you find yourself standing on a Titan City street, and across from you, you do see Trace sitting sort of alone in a street light.
Yep. She is sitting up against the wall to one of the buildings. Her knees are pulled up to her chest, and she's got her arms wrapped around the knees. Her hair, much longer than it is because she's younger than she is in the army, kind of just fallen over, and you kind of just see her just trying to turn inwards as much as snakily possible.
I'm gonna actually pat Mer on the haunch, I guess, and I think this one's you.
Oh, you butt smacker.
It's
Go
like
get her.
Back.
it's like the
Go get her,
side
puppy.
side haunch,
Like flank.
respectful side haunch, the flank.
Like you're sending off a horse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get her, puppy.
Yeah.
So, very happy to take that command. She flies at Trace full speeds, but about 30 feet out, she's going to come to a halt, just seeing the pure emotional devastation that she's in. And you know the puppy crawl, where the it's like a play bow, but the dog's front paws extend and the butt kind of wiggles as it very slowly works its way up. And she's going to do that all the way up until she can get her nose kind of like dead center of her chest to try to lift up her chin.
What? Brain's a bit fuzzy. Do I know you?
Oh God, she could start crying on that one. Trace, come on, baby, you have to come back to us now. This isn't
No.
real. This isn't real.
Too many people leave me behind.
Oh, she's gonna puppy hug her. The head wraps around the side of her shoulder. The wings are gonna expand and just wrap into her and embrace her.
So with the full puppy embrace, Trace is probably gonna start trying. Her brain starts like kicking into overdrive, like idiot. Get your There are two Traces fighting here as we're looking at as this audience would be looking at this. We've got the adult Trace who's basically now standing over her younger form, basically saying, "Okay, yeah, people are jerks. Your whole life is going to be a problem. There are people you can trust, and these are one of them. Just do it so we can get the heck out of here, will you? It's not going to be all that bad, trust me." And when younger Trace looks up at older Trace, as Mur kind of pulls back, you can see the younger version has kind of morphed back into the army issued green t-shirt wearing version that you're all used to. Mur, oh, geez.
Are you okay? Are you okay? Are you back? Please tell me you remember me. You remember me, right?
Yes, Mur. Just stone. Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I can't stand to see you cry.
Oh, Christ. Really?
Do you need a distraction?
No, just
Mark
she's
left
gonna-
Hobbs in a nightmare for 5 years.
She's just gonna just start guffawing at that.
5 years. 5 years. She left him in a desert for 5 years.
Well, if anyone could survive 5 years on their own, it'd be that big lug.
Barely.
I'm okay. She'll stand up and look across at the rest of the group. Hi.
I was kind of expecting it to be clowns. I'm gonna be honest.
Why would you think clowns?
I don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
It's just people and clowns sometimes, you know.
No, I have no idea what it is you're talking about.
Just real quick check, and the clown's gonna show up and go. Hoo, 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 hoo.
Mur's just gonna give it a passing glance, like, or not.
Leon, who's been looking around, not paying attention, just Looks at it. Mark, why?
Okay, so it's gonna be the captain. Who's money? It's gonna be clowns for the captain.
Oh, are
Pounds for you, doll.
are we collecting everyone? Is that what's going on here? Where are
yeah.
we exactly?
Oh, Nightmare Escape.
Oh, well, that explains a lot. Look up at Hobbs. So, 5 years?
It probably felt like 5 years. Something about time being different here. I hope.
Yeah, it was like maybe a minute. Maybe not even a minute. Maybe only 30 seconds.
Oh,
Mark,
okay.
perception is reality, and he preserved 5 years, and you didn't do anything. I cannot believe you left him in the nightmare for 5 years, and she's like already trying to herd everyone together into a circle while she's still chastising.
Welcome to the chastisement circle.
Yeah, first step is to hold hands.
Did you know that it actually takes longer to make instant coffee here than it does everywhere else? It's that's really awful.
Is that
Can we
another
get the-
perception thing?
Can we get the captain so we can go stop the Nazi necromancer from, destroying the world that we came from?
Oh yeah, you gotta hold high hands with Hobbs though.
Hell, the world might already be destroyed. It's been 5 years.
Fine. Come here, come here, Scaly.
So you all hold hands, and you all appear in Hal's in the captain's nightmare. Looking around, you do see that he appears to be in some kind of examination room, and you see Preston Harrison, your guys' handler, along with sort of this older scientist alongside him, and they both look up and see all of you guys and have sort of a confused look on their face when you guys walk in. But
Oh.
Mark, you've got creative control, so you can make them go away if you want.
Oh, this one's good. Hey, Captain.
So the little ember of rage explodes. Hal snaps the restraints off the table and kips to his feet. The ear fins and the fins on his head sort of flaring out. Tendons in his arms and shoulders and chest, like taut. His fingers almost seem to be growing claws. His eyes are wide, and he lets out a roar, kind of like the T-Rex in Jurassic Park. Just shakes the room, and spittle flies. His teeth are gleaming in the lights. And he starts stalking over towards Harrison and the other doctor, just sort of slavering, just dripping from his mouth, just not seeing the squad, just clearly intent on murder.
Murder.
Should we stop him, or I mean, like these people aren't real. Like,
Yeah, it might be
it's
cathartic.
This was the most emotion I've ever seen out of him.
Yeah,
Ever.
Who
It's
knew
kinda
the
weird.
captain's beef was having a weird uncle?
can I tell if this is like a memory or
It is a memory nightmare, yes.
Okay. Yeah, no, it's probably good for him.
Well, Kevin, what would you like to do to the helpless humans in front of you?
I imagine if they, they probably aren't capable of moving fast enough to get away. So Hal will leap on them and savage their corpses into tattered remnants of flesh and blood and bone, scattering about the lab, spraying everything.
My God, it's like string cheese.
What's your preferred texture though? Like string cheese, whole bits, 1-inch cubes.
I'm a pepper jack man.
Okay, I get it.
And I would guess after they're both dead, like if the rage reaction is a function of the nightmare and not a new development, imagine that previous emotional state would settle back in, and at that point he would notice the squad just kind of standing there.
Yeah, it does settle back into your usual emotionless state, but you do feel sort of back there that creature is still in you.
Hey. You get. I mean, I can make a couple more if you need. You
I
got
think
more
that was
steam.
sufficient.
Okay.
Since
Is that
you
a new
are all here, I
development?
would assume this is no longer a memory. Is this the function of your dimensional shortcut, Mark?
Yeah. I mean, basically, like it's like kind of just like walking. If you walked differently and in a shadowy hellscape for most of your life.
I see. Are we then ready to proceed?
Sure.
Got a
Unless-
necromancer to stop, don't we?
Oh,
Yes.
maybe she's afraid of clowns.
What is it with you and clowns?
I don't know. It's just easy.
That's
Pop
probably
in
the
there.
reason.
Drop a clown, and then they're screaming.
If it's
I started
easy,
blasting.
if it's easy, doesn't that make it kind of sour?
I mean, like not when I'm hungry.
Okay, this is a weird conversation. I'm exiting it.
You guys are just lucky he hasn't been sitting all over your chests this whole time.
We should
It's true.
begin moving towards the necromancer. I don't know how time works in this strange place, but I imagine we
Oh,
don't have.
speaking of time, we'll talk about it later.
I mean, you've told everybody else as far as I know, so you might as
Well,
well
I
share
know,
with
but
the
no one
captain.
else like put two guys into a blender in like a psychotic rage who usually doesn't exhibit emotions. Maybe this isn't the best time for him.
I mean, he seems okay now. And if that's a new development, I don't think he'd stick it on us. Because he would have done it already if he was.
Yeah.
Stop making me break character.
I don't think Mur wants to upset Captain Charisma over here. Maybe we should get going.
Captain Charisma.
Don't worry, Hobbs. I'll file a formal complaint once we're finished.
Sure, the complaints just go to his trash bin, right?
I'm still gonna file it. It's the right thing to do. It's procedure.
Okay, you kill a tree.
Oh, I've seen that nightmare too.
Mark, can we go?
Oh
I'm gonna
yeah.
say my next superhero is gonna be Captain Charisma.
All right, everybody. Hold hands like we care about each other. I mean, I care about you, I guess.
Oh, well, I didn't expect to
I'm
get my
so
feelings hurt
reassured.
today, too.
If emotional attachment is a requirement for the procedure, I may have some difficulty.
No, that was a joke, Captain. Yeah, I figured y'all could use it after experiencing your worst fears.
Is that what that was?
It's supposed to be.
Interesting.
Yeah, some of you weren't quite at the crying and slobbering stage yet, which that's impressive. Good work, and just
Zoop.
And you guys go zoop, out into the Shadowlands. And Mark, you've had some time since you left Hobbs down there for 5 years.
5 years. Damn it.
You
Criminal.
sort of, and part of what took you so long to get to everybody is you did do a perimeter scan of the area that you guys came into, the Shadowlands, and you did happen to stumble upon a massive black pyramid in the center of sort of this nexus of nightmares that you were all in. You have a pretty decent idea that is where Dr. Nochin's going to be.
Excess of nightmares.
Now, partially because of the big black pyramid, but also partially because of all the Nazi flags and the imprisoned people around the base of that pyramid.
Ah,
Oh,
the
yeah,
subtle
okay.
clues.
Yes.
So we claimed this dimension for the Nazis. Wait, can you claim a dimension? We just did.
Look, I'm just saying that, Nazis put the text in subtext.
Yeah. What kind of invasion is it? Don't bring the home decor to hang up on the walls.
Isn't that technically undersea text? And then there's
Oh,
subs. Oh, dad jokes from World War II. It's bad.
Untersea text. All right. So, what would you guys like to do?
Okay, before we get there, just to make sure, nobody's worst fear is Nazis, right?
I dare say this operation would have failed before now. Were that the case, Mark?
Okay, I just want to make sure, because if we get there and you're scared of Nazis, we're gonna have a bad time.
We were already having a bad time.
Okay,
That's implied this situation could get worse. Which it can, but not because of Nazis.
I think being concerned about that right now instead of before we jumped into my hellhole chest was the wrong move.
I mean, I'm fine.
Let's just walk up and knock on the door. They'll never expect it.
I mean,
Awesome.
I don't know. I feel like Nazis are afraid of tanks, so I feel like I can do that.
Wait, Mark, how is it that they're not affected by this place?
Yeah, I don't know. What do I look like? The Shadow World Encyclopedia? Like the Nazi Encyclopedia?
Mark,
Yes.
Mark. Squad, focus.
Focus.
Are you capable of moving quickly and stealthily in this particular dimension? Can you scout that camp without being detected and bring us actionable intel?
Yeah, sure. And just Mark is just like gonna like dissolve into this like pile of organs and eyeballs.
Oof.
Does that mean it's working?
He doesn't normally do that. So
We
I'm
are
gonna say
not
yes.
in our usual place, so things will be different here.
Yeah, so can I roll a piece of me over that direction?
You sure can.
And
We super heinous. Your eyeball grows legs and arms. It goes running that way.
awesome.
The optic nerve.
But it's like long gangly legs, so it's like doing that like high stepping run. Like elbows out.
We really are pulling in all the cartoon references from the 1940s tonight, aren't we?
Tonight's episode is brought to you by Mighty Mouse.
All right, yeah, I'm gonna go run over to the Nazi camp and play count the Nazis.
Count the Nazis. Okay, please give me a perception. Please give me a stealth check with a +4 bonus. Oh,
That
okay,
is a
sure.
natural 20 for a 30.
Give me
Yeah,
a perception check.
it's meant to be.
Now give me a +2 since you're just an eyeball. Oh my god!
That's another nat 20 for a 28.
Love those
Wow.
random dice generators.
That's a home field advantage if I've ever seen one. Jesus
Yeah, really.
Christ.
Mark was like, I'm gonna take favorite environment, Shadow Realm, but only make it affect my dice, not my bonuses. So yeah, Ninja Eyeball goes running in. And the first thing you notice, Mark, as you approach this camp, you do see that there are probably 4 dozen locals imprisoned around the base of the pyramid. You see that they're all shackled together. And you see standing at the base of the pyramid is a tall, scary-looking woman with alabaster white skin wearing a red dress with a large yellow necklace around her neck. And she is flanked by a couple of different I'm not going to make the mistake of giving you the handout with her stats on it this time.
Come on.
Don't
In
know
for a
why you
penny,
would
in
call
for a
that a
pound.
mistake.
Darn.
That was the ultimate assessment check. She's standing in the center of this group of people, and you see that her eyes are closed, but you can detect yellow light illuminating behind her eyelids, and she is chanting in ancient Aramaic. And she looks like this. Sort of long, dark hair. Her eyes are closed. She's got her hands raised.
Spooky.
All right. And then how many regular Nazis in the camp?
You don't see any Nazi soldiers here. Looking around, you just see her standing in the center of all these people, and you see there are a few skeletons wandering around that seem to be enforcing the security.
Got it.
So, to answer the question of how are they not affected, you probably think that maybe her will is just too nasty to be overcome by something like this, and the skeletons don't care about it, and she doesn't care that the citizens are freaking out. Looking
Fair
around,
enough.
you do see some of the captives are still in sort of like a catatonic state, still asleep. You could tell some of them are having nightmares like they've never had before. A few of them are awake, but most of them are in sort of that nightmare state.
I have to resist my urge to go sit on like one of the collapsed ones and run back to the group and reassemble from a pile of eyeballs. Neat trick, huh?
I was gonna say just the eyeball sitting on their chest.
Is that a face palm?
Well, we can count it.
Oh,
It's an eyebrow wipe. I don't know what that counts as.
Oh, I forgot to reset the counter. Yeah, so I'm gonna relay that out. There's like 50 captives and the spooky lady.
Just a spooky lady?
matching the description of the necromancer we see.
Yeah, and skeletons. Just to make sure nobody's afraid of that stuff either, right?
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, and oh yeah, she started the ritual. That's another one in the information.
Mark, as
pile.
you say she started the ritual, you do hear this crash of thunder, and you see the pyramid rises up out of the dirt, and a doorway opens in the center of it, and she walks inside.
I think she just wrapped up, Mark.
Look, I was an eyeball. Eyeballs don't run that fast, okay?
Does this mean are the captives still freeable? Or are they still?
When you look that direction, it looks like the captives, as you're sort of examining that way, it looks like all of them are starting to slowly drop. You feel sort of this cascade of magical energy billow out through them, and you see their bodies begin to shrivel and dissect as their as blood begins to emerge from their noses and their mouths and pool into this massive collection of probably bloodborne illnesses.
Mark, can you disrupt the flow from the hostages to the ritual?
Sure. What would just
Cut it off before she finishes the ritual. The rest of us attack the necromancer, and Mark, join us as soon as you've freed the hostages.
I don't even know what I would make. What's sufficiently scary?
Or you, GM?
Yes, go ahead.
Would I be able to make a magic roll to remember or put together whether or not, because we are in the Shadow Realm, the effectiveness of how effective would be? Sorry, I'm gonna have the actual name of it. The consuming darkness would be on that pool as it was moving towards it.
The consuming darkness?
Yeah.
Yeah, give me an expertise magic check.
Okay. 24.
With a 24, you are of two opinions. You think there might be two solutions to this problem. You do think that the consuming darkness could divert the magical energy to Haster instead of to Dr. Nochin. He would basically just eat those people and eat their life force and prevent it from going to Dr. Nochin.
Yes.
On his behalf.
Yeah.
You also are aware that you guys have a mender in your party in the form of Myrrh, and menders are right there on that line between necromancers and animancers. So if anybody had a way to do it and restore life to the captives, it would probably be Myrrh.
Gotcha.
Maybe not even consciously, maybe just something that she would go out and try to use her magic to futz with.
I could stop it from reaching there, diverting it over to the powers that fuel my abilities. Alternatively, if we want to give them back their lives that has been rudely ripped from them, Myrrh might be our best bet.
I'll defer to your expertise in things magical.
So we have one or two options. Myrrh, if you want to try to save them, you certainly can. But
That
if
should
not,
be our only option.
I figured you'd say that, so that's why I allowed you to give it a shot at least. And if not, we have fail back, which you won't like, but it'll get our job done.
So I'm not gonna turn all their blood into strawberry jelly then.
No.
Marv!
Not yet.
Okay.
Third option, if those two don't work.
Okay.
Hey, Alex, the
Yes.
remote control, the transporter that's attached to Hobbs, is that transferable? Do we know? Didn't we bring that guy with us? Where is he? Where's the teenager?
You guys haven't found him.
Okay. Or we didn't look, or that's fine. Yeah.
No,
Do
we
I
all
know
got
if
split up.
do I know if that's transferable?
You can make a technology check for me.
I'm gonna ask out loud. Does anyone know if the thing attached to Hobbs is transferable?
Oh, you mean this thing that broke as soon as we used it?
Yeah, that thing. Is it transferable?
I don't know. I try to smash it into Myrrh. Does it work?
So, Hobbs, you begin ripping it off of yourself. It does sort of pull some of your flesh out as you yank it off of you. And then you do notice the arms of it begin trying to feel immediately for somebody else to attach to.
Well, it looks like it will.
Oh, beautiful. If she's gonna ask for permission from the commander, can I adorn the key?
If you feel as though you can control it, yes.
I have faith.
I'll go ahead and plop it on her back between her wings.
Awesome.
And if we're not in combat round, she'll heal whatever damage was just done to Hobbs that she's getting torn through.
Yeah, no worries. So you slap the soul vault onto Myrrh, and Myrrh has some kind of crazy plan to go and rescue the captives. Everybody else is rushing into the pyramid to stop Dr. Nochin.
Yes.
I'm gonna stay with Myrrh and protect her from anything that might want to stop her.
Awesome. Cool. Well, I think that is going to be a great place for us to take our break.
All
Good call.
right.
So great job, everybody, so far. Thank you, all, everybody in the audience who is hanging out with us tonight, answering our poll questions. We will be back in just a few minutes to see what happens with Dr. Nochin and all those poor innocent people that Murray is going to try and save.
Those poor, unfortunate souls.
Those ones.
Those ones.
Those ones, yep.
Look at all the Disney references in this game.
Don't sue us, Disney.
Don't sue us.
Haven't even got Nazis here. We'll be back in 5 years.
Right?
5 minutes to some people, depending on how they perceive
5
time.
years, yeah, that's not good.
It's about
We'll be
the
back in 5 answer minutes.
it's about the time that it takes to make some instant coffee.
Does it take 5 years on the shuttle plane to make it?
Depends on your Keurig.
Dun, dun. Alright. Break time.
We'll get Welcome back, everybody. Thank you guys so much for joining us for the finale of Operation Torch, Genie in a Bottle. I've been having a great time so far with all of our fun nightmare stuff, and I see that people have been interacting with our polls, which is super awesome. Thank you guys for engaging with us and chatting with us while we're doing our thing tonight. The heroes, last we left them, arrived just in time to either stop or participate in Dr. Nochin's ritual. I guess that's up to them and whoever they get to solve the problem of the bloody mess that is emerging from all of the poor, unfortunate souls, as Andy kindly called them. So, Myrrh and Trace, you guys are outside of the pyramid structure trying to deal with that situation. Everybody else ran on ahead. And I went ahead and had everybody roll initiative while we were on break just to get that out of the way. But as you guys run inside, you do find yourselves in this sort of large central chamber in the middle of this pyramid structure. It's made out of this glossy black stone. There's lots of carved figures in the walls, and there's columns going down this sort of ornate vault. Sconces on the walls, the whole 9 yards, all that wonderful stuff. You see Dr. Nochin standing on an altar in front of a glittering magic lamp. It's made out of this chrome sort of silver, and it's got gold and platinum etchings and then filigree, that's what I'm looking for, around the base of it. And it does seem to be emitting some kind of black smoke right this second. She looks back to see all of you guys. She smirks at you, and the robed, costumed skeletons move forward to attack you. And that's where we'll jump into combat, with Hobbs going first on 23.
Oh, okay. I see the lamp is on the altar, right?
Yes, the lamp is right here. Bring me the lamp.
I'll say that you
ahead,
cannot
Hobbs.
constrain or control that power, and I'll use my ability to control earth and stone. I'm going to go ahead and make a pillar rise up from under the altar, and I'm kind of rise all the way up to the ceiling. That way it just seals against the roof. So if she wants it, she's going to have to go up there and get it.
That's neat. I will add stone column to the center of the map.
So at least the lamp's out of play. It's pinned up against the roof. Well, I hope it's out of play. And
We
I
shall
will
see.
go ahead and move out front just to take the focus fire. Yeah, you know what? I'm feeling generous. I'll move here.
So Hobbs forms this pillar of sand and stone out of the basalt stone of the pyramid and forces the lamp up against the ceiling. Dr. Nochin looks at you with a bemused expression on her face. And she says, I do not know what you think makes you believe I cannot control this power creature. Power is what I have always controlled.
Power controls you, nothing else.
Minions, deal with him. And the skeletons, the creepy skelly boys, are all going to leap on Hobbs. And they will do a team attack on Hobbs.
Oh no, they're ninjas.
Because, believe it or not, their damage is actually enough to get through your impervious toughness.
You know, I feel like that was by design.
I don't know what you're talking about. All right, so they're going to do 2 team attacks. These 2 are going to help this one. These 2 are going to help this one. So the first 2 assisting, boom, boom. They both assist, and with that bonus, they're going to give a +5 damage to the third one.
Okay.
Who will use 2 points of power attack and 2 points of all-out attack. Whack.
Swing bad about it. Oh, 26. Ooh,
26 to hit, and you're going to be looking at a DC 30 toughness save.
Easy. 21.
That's a bruise. That's a bruise in a days.
These skeletons have got a lot of muscle. I don't know.
Then the other two are going to assist their friend. 16 and 12. What's your parry DC?
22.
Your parry DC is 22?
That's yep, normal hob sheet. It says 22.
That seems wrong. Let me look at that. What's your toughness? Plus 14?
Yeah.
So your parry DC is 16.
I don't know why it says 22.
Let me double check.
I can't even edit the line in there.
Oh, because you have a 12 fighting for some reason.
I do.
That doesn't sound okay. I'm gonna
No.
put the kibosh on this.
No.
No.
All right, that looks better. Yeah. Yep. Okay. Power level limits, guys. What are we doing? So only one of them will succeed on assisting, though, with the 16. So they will get a +2 bonus to the damage, and they'll do the same. -2 for power attack, +2 for all out attack. Whack. And get a 25 to hit. So DC 27 toughness save, please.
Easy money. 27.
27, you're good to go. So those skeletons basically just jump on you, and each of them produces these long black cudgels that are coursing with yellow magical energy, and they're just wailing on you.
Oh no.
They're office spacing you, and you're a printer or a copy machine.
No magic.
So thwack. Hal, you're up.
All right. These are 5-foot squares, I take it. Leaping. There. Spending a hero point to make my area burst selective and distracting so that it does not lose any ranks of potency when I am stunting to make it selective. And that should hit Miss Contessa and all her minions, and I will use the selective bit to exclude Hobbs, but that should hit all the bad guys on the screen.
Awesome.
So dodge save of DC 20 for half.
Ooh, that's high.
All right, let me fire off the burst thing so you see the stats.
Yeah, if you don't mind. Perfect.
That does, okay, right. The attack roll is irrelevant.
Yeah, right. 30-foot radius spear. You added selective to it. And that cuts the damage down to DC 20, right?
Well, no, that's I took the flaw distracting to offset the cost, so it's still at full ranks.
You're right. So DC 20 dodge. Dr. Nochin rolls. Sorry, roll 20 is running a little slow tonight. She rolls a 21, so she'll roll against half of that damage. So yes. DC 20. She's okay. The skeletons. Skeleton 1 fails. Skeleton 2 fails. Skeleton 3 fails. Skeleton 4 fails or succeeds. Skeleton 5 succeeds. Skeleton 6 succeeds.
So half of them failed, half of them succeeded.
All right, so that group on the right, the one that did the most damage to Hobbs and passed all of their dodge saves, that's the A squad.
Okay.
Yeah, really.
That makes sense.
Been skeletons the longest.
So the ones that made their dodge get the DC 20 toughness save. The ones that didn't get their dodge made a DC 25 toughness save.
I'll start with the 3 who failed. 25 failed. 25 failed. 25 failed. So they all go to dust. Yeah.
Ashes to ashes, dust to dust.
Yeah. Yeah. And then the other 3 are going down to 20. That's a fail. That's a success. That's a success. Okay. So 1 fail, 2 successes. So what does it look like as you go out and do this awesome attack?
Hal leaps through the sort of murky temple area there, sailing just over Hobbs' head, sticks the superhero landing right there in the midst of everything, and a cloud of electricity just pulses out and by whatever bizarre means seems to arc around Hobbs and pass through the skeletons, although some of them seem to take the impact just fine. And of course, Dr. Nochin seems to just sort of shrug off the energy, but then there's sort of a crackling in the air as the aura fades.
Does everything just taste blue?
Do I smell toast?
Awesome. And then do you have move by action, Kevin, or are you happy hanging out there?
I do, but I want to stay there. So, you know what? I did make myself vulnerable, so maybe staying there is not my best move. I
Good
better
for
do
the
a
plot.
triple somersault back right here. Wah!
Oh, flip. Awesome. That was a good flip. All right, so you do your best to get out of close melee range with the spellcaster, and Dr. Nojin looks at you with just disdain as the lightning washes over her, and she brushes it away with magical energy. She says, "Fine, if I have to kill the American supers, I'll kill the American supers." And she walks down to the base of these steps here. Ooh, it was almost perfect. Almost perfect. Marking the owner in the wrong spots.
You're so small.
This isn't good. Oh, nose! Lightning bolt formation.
She is going to rack both of you with boiling blood. So that is going to be a dodge save because it is an aerial line effect. So please make a dodge save versus DC 23 for me.
I will endeavor to do my best. No.
And then Hobbs, did you get your dodge?
I did not. I got hit.
Okay, so both of you guys please make a fortitude check for me, DC 23.
Here we go. It's 50, 50, 50, 50, 31.
I'm going to spend that last hero point and do that again. Yeah, that's it.
All right, so both of you guys are all right as you see the yellow necklace around her neck illuminates with this, yellow energy and zooms out to all of you guys. It hits both of you, and you feel heat rising inside your bodies, but you're able to suppress any agonizing response to it. She is going to go fatigued, however.
Rude.
And she looks irritated, and then she exchanges glances with Hobbs. She says, "I need you to bring my lamp back." And she's going to hit you with a synapse slash. She reaches into your brain and starts slicing just all sorts of important things.
Why is everybody hitting my mind?
It is perception, range, damage, resisted by will. So please make me a will save, DC 23.
Easy money. Bet it all on black. 17. Let's use a hero point.
It's just a bruise and a daze if you don't want to use the hero point.
Oh, I thought she was controlling my mind.
No.
Oh no, then I will take the bruise and the daze for the plot.
And actually, that should have been higher, but I will fix that in post. Should have been DC 28 instead of DC 33. But that would still just be a bruise and a daze for you. So
I'll eat it.
DC 33 would be like, ow.
Or DC 28. DC 28. Blah. So yeah, she hits you with that. You feel magic passing through your little lizard brain, just tearing whatever lobes you can grab a hold of.
Oh.
Mark, you're up.
All right. I'll run up here. So, can I see her past Hobbs?
Yes, you sure can.
All right. All right. Here we go. Big money. It's clowns, and I'm gonna use nightmare fuel. That is big money. That's a natural.
That is huge money. It's too bad it's a perception and range
I know.
attack, and to hit doesn't matter. So,
But I denied it to you. That's what really counts.
that's true. You did deny it to me. All right. Perfect. So DC 23 will save. She rolls a 19.
Hey.
She takes a bruise. What happens?
Whatever it
Wow.
is that she actually is afraid of. Probably not clowns. I assume it's not clowns.
Surprise, it is
Should be
clowns.
clowns.
Oh my god.
It's Nazi clowns.
I knew it! There's
some
always
reason-
someone.
I've got it in my head now that Mark is somehow the creator of Pennywise. Like that just seems like a thing.
Yep.
It's all his fault.
It's hard to goose step in clown shoes, though.
Came to him in a dream and was just like, here's Pennywise.
So, Mark, is there anything else you want to do while you're out there?
You know what? Let's see if we can make this a little bit easier for our friends. I'll go ahead and spend a hero point to extra effort, because I don't want to go fatigue quite yet. And let's see if I can get a sleep paralysis off on her as well, and keep her locked down in place. It's a DC 20 will save.
She rolls a 33 this time.
Well, win some, you lose some.
So you see just the look of just terror flicker through her face. She covers it up real fast because she's a professional facer. But the next spell you throw her away, she casts it aside.
Whoops. I thought the clowns would do it.
Clowns always do it. Clowns closed. Everybody knows that. All right, so oh, sorry. Go ahead, Mark.
Oh no, I can't move my action. Never mind. I'm done.
So back outside of the pyramid, Myrrh and Trace, you guys perfectly are an 11 and 10. And
That
you
is
guys are trying to find some solution to this blood-borne issue.
So, quick question for you, Alex. You said she finished that ritual, cast that spell, and then like an energy washed out from the pyramid, and that's what's attacking the sacrifices, correct?
Well, so the energy passed out, and it sucked the blood out of the sacrifices, and it's pooled all of the blood together in this massive sort of jello ooze in the center of the air.
So
Looks like
that's
that
not
ooze is
ongoing.
trying to enter into the pyramid.
Gotcha. Okay, so that wasn't an ongoing effect. That happened, and this was the product of it.
Right.
So, looking at Tress, is like, do we heal the people? Do we kill the blob? I'm not really sure what we're supposed to be here. I didn't get the clearest of instructions. I was thinking with my head.
I think so. Leon said that you might be able to reverse the effect. Keep it, because if she gets the blood, she can use the lamp. I think that's what's been going on this whole time. So do that voodoo that you do.
Okay, we're gonna try that. We're gonna pray about it and succeed because we have faith, or at least I do.
I have faith in you.
I appreciate it. That means actually more than you'll ever know.
You gotta have faith.
Gotta have faith.
Oh.
Face palm.
And then they went to George Michael. Jeez.
Alex, can I hop down in the most centralized location that I can and power stunt like the range burst effect?
You sure can.
That is what she's going to attempt, because one thing that she's seen right now is the nightmare she just left, where there were a bunch of innocent people that she couldn't save. So that is what she is reincarnating right now. It's like, I'm going to fix it this time.
Perfect. That's awesome. Cool. Are you going to go fatigue to do that, or are you going to spend a hero point to do that?
I'll spend a hero point to eat it.
Awesome. So
I'll give you that here shortly.
how do I want to roll this? M&M is so great because the DM gets to be like, okay, now what do we do?
It's actually very empowering for players, especially new players like me.
Yeah. So you conjure this healing wave of energy, and you're trying to direct it into as many people as you can, or into the blood pool in the center of the people.
We're gonna go for the. So as she is channeling this energy and her wings are fluttering and that yellow amulet on her neck is inspiring, she is going to clarify one more time with Trace. Am I going for the victims or am I going for him?
Do it on the blood boil thingy.
We'll focus on the blood boil thing.
Perfect. Okay, so please go ahead and give me a d20 plus 10 for your heal check. I know it's a burst area, and you're trying to get as many people as you want, but I want to see how high you roll to quantify it.
So she rolled a 2. Can I hero point and try that again, please?
You sure can.
Okay, let's do that. as she is going to utter her rolls hater tonight. So 17 total.
Well, and because you rolled underneath an 11, and you get to add 10 since it's a hero point.
Oh,
So
thank you.
My pleasure. So 17, 27 total.
27 total.
So you leap out there. You begin conjuring this magical energy up into the boiling, sort of rolling sea of blood that is floating onwards into the pyramid. And either your faith or your magical energy or something pierces up into the center of this, the center of this mass. And Myrrh, you begin to feel that magical energy. Instead of going into the pyramid, it feels like it's coming down into you. And you feel this sort of just this rush of almost unlimited magical power coursing down and into your body.
So long as she doesn't have itty bitty living space, I think we're okay.
I think we're okay too.
Phenomenal cosmic power.
Does she get a halo? Tell me she gets a halo.
Heck yeah, she gets a halo.
Yeah, she gets the halo. Finally, she leveled up in the eyes of Christ.
All dogs go to heaven, man.
All dogs go to heaven.
Oh man.
If this weren't a boss fight, I'd give you a hero point for that comment.
So you have sucked this energy down into yourself. You've got the halo going on. The blood mass just enters you and seems to dissipate and disappear.
Okay.
Was that it?
I don't know. Maybe.
Okay.
But wow, what a ride.
Do we need to stay out here and check to see if it worked, or do we need to go help the others?
The ritual is disrupted now, right? She can't complete the ritual at least. So at this point, our priority should be the team, right? I'm not the leader. Where's Hal? I'm not the decisive one. I just go where I'm told.
Okay.
It all sounds good to me, but I'm an unbiased third-party mediator. That's all.
Yeah, unbiased third party. Yeah.
Right.
Well, you just took that all into yourself, Myrrh. So we better make sure that it's gone before we go in there and she just yoinks it out of you.
Alex, do I feel like it's digested now?
You're not sure.
Take some Pepto.
Some puppy Pepto.
Puppy Pepto.
You feel the Holy Spirit moving through you, whatever is going on.
Isha no ho. If you're afraid of me going in right now, do you want me to take these back home?
If you think you can pop back and forth, no, don't take them home now. Just see if they're okay, and let's all go at once, because if you can't make it back, we're all stuck here.
Okay.
Well, that's true. She's got the transport. She's got the soul vault in there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then I think that's it for my turn.
Awesome. Trace, what would you like to do?
I was going to pick off skeletons if they decided to come bother us. I figured that was going to take longer. So Trace had her pistol out and was ready to just pop a couple of skeletons as they shambled forth.
There's a couple left.
Well, the ones outside. I'm
Oh,
assuming there's more outside.
oh yeah. Out
I
there.
know there were going to be a whole lot more outside, but then Merwin did a miracle.
Myrrh went and did a miracle.
Yeah.
All right, so then let's see, what can I have Trace do? I can have Trace start taking a look at this pyramid with expertise saboteur to see if there is a way that we can come in from an angle that she would not expect. Maybe we can get a higher vantage point from the others.
I like this plan.
Bravely done.
I do too. I rolled a natural 20 for a 30 total.
You know what, Trace? I'm going to give you complete narrative control over the weakness you found in this fully operational station.
So Trace kind of puts her hands out onto the basalt like structure and begins following a seam as she kind of asks Myrrh to use her shoulders to get a little bit higher. She finds a very small ledge that she's able to grab a hold on, kind of like an outcropping for rock climbing. And she shimmies up a couple of feet higher than that. And she just kind of puts her hand on the stone in a place where it didn't feel as though there was enough energy to hold that one in place. And as she does, the whole structure just kind of falls apart, and it leaves us an entrance about 50 feet higher than where it is, and allows us to be like on a small ledge where we can kind of be aerial support if Myrrh wants to go do that, and gives me covering fire from above.
Awesome. I'm here for that. So cool. Cool. So I think that's. Do you want to jump into the hole, or are you happy hanging out there?
Yeah, I think we're gonna head up into the spot.
Perfect. So you guys are preparing to leap upon poor Dr. Dochin.
Yeah.
All right, Leon, you're up.
All right. Let's see. There are 2 skeletons, and the lady is not sleeping, right?
She is not sleeping, no.
Okay. Then
She has a bruise.
That's all right. I would like to. All right. Based on what I know of consuming darkness, it is selective, correct?
Yes, it is.
With a radius of 500 feet. So I could, in theory, plop it down in such a space where I can hit the last 2 skeletons and Dr. Nochin.
Yeah, 500 feet will fill up this whole room.
I don't need to fill up this whole room. I just need to for it to hit enough people in such a manner that they are unable to see. So, we hit that. I don't think actually. I think that's one thing that actually does not have a thing on here. No.
Yeah, it's an environment. Can you tell me if it says like visibility -2 and cold?
It's environment 5, cold, visibility -5, radius
Visibility -5. Okay,
Yep.
awesome.
Radius 500 feet and selective.
Cool. So yeah, you just drop that. What does that cold feel like? What does it look like?
I think it's just this. For those that it's afflicting, it just kind of is like this dark fog that just kind of falls in, and you just feel it almost like a mist on top of you, just seeping into your bones. It only affects our enemies, so all of us here in the party do not have to worry about it. So you guys are fine.
Awesome. Visibility -5. Ooh, that's rough. Cool. All right. And then do you want to move, Leon, or are you happy hanging out there?
I'm happy here for the moment. Do we lose somebody?
I don't think we lost anybody.
Yeah, we lost Andy.
Oh, we did lose Andy.
Oh no.
Forgive us, folks. You'll get pieces of our faces for a little bit.
No.
Andy's got at least one. He's got like 4 turns to come back. 4 or 5.
I'm back.
Oh, look
Andy's
at that.
back.
He's quicker than we thought.
Yeah. Now we must fix the windows again.
The windows. Dr. Jones, the plane.
It didn't like. Apparently, Twitch did not like my my musical talents.
So Leon, did you want to move, or are you happy hanging out where you are?
Oh no, I'm happy hanging out where I am. Sorry, I realized I was muted during that when I said that part of the what you said.
We're in the wrong windows.
They'll move around, don't worry.
It'll be all right. But yeah, no, I'm comfortable where I'm at.
Awesome. So in that case, that brings us back to Hobbs.
Somebody will get out of my head, and I'm gonna rush her. And I'm gonna try to get her with this power attack.
Oh.
Yeah, we'll just go ahead and try to bite her. So power attack, I take 5 to hit for 5 to damage.
Yeah. Yes. Yep.
Brah. Oh, I assume 14 doesn't hit, right?
It does not.
You know what? I'll fatigue. I'll go. Yeah, I'll fatigue and try to do it again. Ooh, that is worse. That's actually worse.
Do you have hero points? You could spend a hero point to reroll.
You know what? I'll go. Yeah, I'll go with third reroll. Let's go. Ooh, that's a 12. That doesn't hit either.
Well, it becomes a 22, which still doesn't hit. So yes, you're right.
This lady's crazy.
So you come snapping in. She's just like moving away from you every now and then. She has like a circlet of yellow energy that grabs you by the muzzle and pushes you to the side.
She's cheating.
I'm a Nazi. So Hobbs is trying to eat her. The poor blind skellies are going to they're going to shuffle down this way. One's going to attack Hal, one's going to attack Mark, but they do have a -5 to their vision, so they're going to get a -5 to this roll. For Hal, 20 to hit your dodge PC.
Yeah.
And for Mark, 21 to hit your parry DC.
These freaking blind skeletons are pretty amazing.
Almost like they don't have
Let me double
eyes,
check.
and they've been doing this for years.
Yeah, thanks
So
for helping.
parry. 20.
21 for Mark's parry DC, but I think that still misses.
Yeah, that hits.
Oh, okay, cool. Then a DC 25 toughness save from both of you guys.
And I assume because they're skeletons, they don't care about how cute I am.
That is correct.
That's a bummer. That's a big bummer.
That's a really big bummer.
I'm gonna use a hero point.
I think they just kicked you in your bummer.
That's a 20 for me.
So that'll be a bruise. That's a bruise for Hal and a bruise for Mark. So
right in the bummer.
yeah, DC's 25.
Oh, God.
Welcome to the
Missed it by
concussion club, Mark.
that much.
Yes. Oh, man. I was thinking -5 on the damage, too. Just kidding. Wishful thinking.
Wishful thinking.
Math them hard. All right, put a bruise on there. There, I was thinking I was doing so well. No bruises yet. Now it's all ruined.
And you know what? Since my skellies are probably going to be out of combat next round, I'm going to have them go fatigued and do it again.
That's
Now
rude.
wait a second.
Al and Mark. That's probably going to miss. That's
No,
not
and
even a
what
30.
did you
no.
get?
What'd I get?
All right, Hal, you're up.
Mark, do you have this under control?
The skeletons with no fears?
That's a no. All right. I stunted last time. Does that last a round or does that last for the scene?
You know, I wanted to last for the scene, but rules as written, it actually only lasts until the duration of the power is over. I learned that recently, but I'm happy to have it continue as the scene.
Well, that's wonderful because
That's a house rule for anybody who is.
I've got two friends that are up close and personal, so let's fire off that burst again. Hedging out Leon and Mark, and the burst effects.
Rules lawyers don't have any powers in kangaroo court. Come at us.
You have no power. Yeah.
So it's an area attack, so they get a dodge 20 to half the damage of the electrical burst.
Dodge. That's a 1. Dodge. 11. Okay, so they both fail that. They're going to roll a DC 25 toughness save.
Yes.
21. Fail. Fail. So they both explode with lightning. What happens?
The lightning arcs out, and it's almost more of a crescent this time because of where he's hedging out his allies, and it sort of arcs. There's sort of this crescent burst that obliterates those last two skeletons, and then Hal leaps. Oh, that's a pillar. I can't leap through that. Leaps over here. Doing the standard superhero landing, of course.
Fish people don't worry about their knees, right?
I know, right? It's all good.
All right. So, Dr. Nochin is going to sidestep Hobbs here. She's got something to prove. She's going to come down this way, And she's going to do two things. The first thing she's going to do is she's going to try and counter the environment that Leon has put down using her own magical expertise. So, Leon, I need you to roll a d20 plus 5, and she's going to roll a d20 plus... Well, she's going to roll a d20 plus and see what happens.
D20 plus 5, you said, right?
Yep.
It's going to be an 18 for me.
She gets a 16, so the effect maintains.
Nice.
And then I will throw a hero point to Mark, because she's going to use extra effort to try and rack him with hideous pain.
Market boy, no.
She does get a -5 to hit for this. So
See.
I'll take that off manually. She got a 15 to hit you, Mark.
Dodge or parry?
A dodge.
Does not hit.
Awesome. So she arcs out. You feel magical energy whoosh over your head. Something bad was going to happen to you, but you were able to avoid it. Mark, your turn.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go over. I don't know. Whatever. I'll just go over here. I don't think it matters. She can see me everywhere. And let's go for that sleep paralysis again. DC 20 will save.
Easy 20 will save.
I imagine she's pretty willful, but you know, we'll try it.
It's a natural 20. It's a 36.
Oof.
Okay. What can I do? What can I do?
You're lucky she's not an invoker.
We'll just try again with that. Actually, yeah, that's fine. Same thing. Let's see if we can get it a second time.
Ooh, first
All
degree,
right.
hindered and vulnerable. I got a
Alright.
19 that time. This is not ideal.
Hoppa. Yeah.
That means she moves at half speed, and her dodge and parry are cut in half, which is real bad for her. So, Mark, what happens as you keep hitting her over and over and over again with the sleep paralysis?
Just in the theme of, like, you know, your worst nightmare is always like in the room while the thing is sitting on your chest. Just all of these clowns start kind of like appearing at the corner of her vision, and that just like every now and again she hears this like honk, honk, honk. But just always on the periphery.
Brutal. All right, Myrrh. So you are surged and overflowing with magical energy. Your halo is shining like a beacon in the light of this admittedly dimsily dark dimension.
She is going to follow Trace through the opening that she found, so she'll squeeze in and shimmy through. Looking down, you said earlier that I was similar to her with the necromancer playing with it. Do I recognize the yellow amulet that she's casting off of?
You sure do. You recognize that as her focus. You know that as a wizard, if that were to be taken away from her, she wouldn't be able to control her magic. She'd only be able to basically explode over and over and over again in uncontrolled bursts.
Sounds like a plan.
I was going to say, Trace, you want to go play with her amulet? It's the same as mine. Without it, she's completely useless.
I'm not much. Well, I'm somewhat good at lifting things, but I'd rather just shoot her.
Okay. I'm going to head down and see if I can snatch that necklace off of her. You want to ride down, or are you going to stay up here?
Oh, I like the high ground.
So I am going to swoop down and make an attempt to grab that.
Awesome. Andy, where did you want your hole to be?
Let's say
Since
that
you rolled a natural 20, I'll just let you
Let's-
say where the hole is.
I just put Trace where that hole would be, probably right about here, because I'm assuming there's like enough upper section of the pyramid we can be beyond the hallway that we came in from.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. So Murray, you can be right next to me.
Beautiful. I can't even. Oh, there's my icon. There we go. All right. Yeah. Can I swoop by and attempt to grab it?
You sure can. So
All
as a
right.
disarm check, do you have improved disarm as an advantage?
I do not. I have improved trip, but not improved disarm.
Awesome. You're still allowed to make a disarm check.
Okay.
It's just when you don't have improved disarm, you make an attack check against the defender with a -2 penalty. If your attack
Okay.
succeeds, make an opposed check of your attack's damage against the defender's strength.
Oh yeah, let's try that.
Awesome. Cool. So you can swoop in and you can do your bite attack to try
Yep.
and steal it.
All right. So this is you wanting a bite attack from me.
Yes, and she is vulnerable, which is real shitty.
Thank you for that spell. Looking like a result of a 14.
So she is at half of her dodge and parry, but 14 is still underneath half of her dodge and parry.
Because I can't read roll 20 well, do I have a hero point to burn to try that again?
You do have
do.
one left, yes.
This is worth it. There we go. 29.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Alex.
Yeah, that's just take my necromancer's powers away. It's fine. It's not like she's a Nazi or anything. So go ahead and roll a d20 plus 8, please. And she'll roll a d20 plus 1.
Ooh,
That seems
this
fair.
This is rough. D20 plus 8
Yep.
would be a total of 12 for me.
So somehow I rolled a 19 with her strength bonus.
Which
so
is impressive.
You latch on to the necklace, but she manages to just wrench it away from you in the worst game of tug of war you've ever played with a big stone dog.
All right.
You didn't quite manage the light speed that every dog hits when you ask it what does it have in its mouth.
Right. All right. Well, let's stay on the ground and continue to play with her then.
Awesome. And if you do want to go fatigue, that is something else that you can try. If you want to try again.
Yeah, may I?
Yeah, you sure can.
It's totally worth it.
So
Hope you
just
wanna-
go ahead and bite her one more time.
Again?
19. Oh, you wanted a bite. Apologies.
Yep.
Apologies. We're doing the bite thing again.
Hmm.
So 32?
All right. So now roll a d20 plus 13 because you got a critical hit on that one.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. Literally, the tug of war apparently is not her favorite game. She's more of a fetch dog. That'd be a total of a 17.
I got a 19 again. So
she is fatigued and still playing tug of war.
Get away from me, you mutt. I wish I had a German accent. All I have is Russian. All right, so Murr, you are locked into a life or death struggle with her. You do see a glimmer of rage passes through her face when she notices the halo around your head.
Good
All right,
for her.
Trace, you're up.
So Trace is basically taking the high ground position. She gets on one knee. She brings her arm across and she pulls her pistol out as a brace, and she just gets Dr. Nochin in the iron sights, and she's gonna pull the trigger because this might be a bunch of monsters, but the army trained us to use these things too. So
Sometimes you just gotta shoot a Nazi in the face.
sometimes you just gotta shoot a Nazi from above. Not with that roll, but I do have a hero point. So, because I rolled an 8, and we'll re-roll that. That is going to be a 21.
21 will hit.
21 will hit. DC
So roll
19.
Toughness save, DC 19. She gets a 24.
Ugh.
She's still vulnerable.
Yeah, her toughness doesn't come from active defense.
Right.
Yeah, so you're blasting at her. Looks like the bullets are sort of ricocheting off of this yellow sort of energy field that seems to permeate her existence when something tries to hurt her.
Gotcha.
Anything else you want to do? Or you happy hanging out in the hole?
Well, I'm happy hanging out here.
Cool.
Keeps her attention very scattered in which directions things are coming from.
Who can I hurt? How can I hurt them better? All right, Leon, you're up.
Yes. I would like to, I think, just lash out with one of my tendrils. Has she successfully shaken the visibility or no?
She has not shaken the visibility.
Okay.
She tried to dispel it, but it didn't work for her.
Some reason. Oh,
Even with
okay.
a d20 plus 13.
Yeah. Well, when you roll a 3, it doesn't end well usually.
It doesn't matter. The dice
Okay.
gods don't care.
Yep. I will be using Unspeakable Horror to do damage. It's gonna be a 15.
Awesome. And just perception, so she just has to roll a will save versus the damage.
Yes.
So will is DC 25. She rolls a 24 and gets another bruise. So what does it look like?
I think just out of the fog for her, just that tendril just lashes out, just bounces off the barrier and then slips through it after it like presses up against it and then just reaches in and starts pulling on her.
Ugh. And are you happy staying in that one spot, Leon? Or are you...
I'm gonna move back a little bit. We'll keep some distance.
You don't want the necromancer to touch you?
Mhm.
That's fair. Hobbs.
So I see that she has ignored me. And I'm gonna rush her again. Now, is the black part the abyss? Is this a suspended platform or is
It
this
is a suspended platform. That is definitely... I mean, abyss is probably as good a word as any for what's down there.
Well, I'm gonna try to bite her, see if that works. Let's not get too crazy now.
Can you use power attack or odd attack or anything?
No, I have so many negatives. 15 does not hit.
It does not. You're just shy of the 15.
Ugh.
It says you still have 2 hero points. I think you might have 1 more.
No, I used them both.
Oh, okay. I'll steal those then.
Yes.
Did you already go fatigued?
You know what? I will go fatigued. Oh, I like this idea. Wow, that's worse. That's a 10.
So, I'm sure just biting and biting and biting, and you can't seem to get any purchase.
Why is she so nimble?
Mur agrees.
To be fair, you haven't been in a fight in 5 years, so
Oh, I'm just
Oh,
rusty,
rusty.
huh?
Oh.
Only rusty.
all right. So you're snapping at her. You try to snap a whole bunch, and she's just not having it. How?
All right. So I will leap, and mid leap, because I have moved by action, and that would kind of look cool. You will sort of draw back his arms and surge out with all out power attack. So there goes my power stun, even with house rules. To do the blast, try and like just spear through her. Where is it? Did I lose my character sheet? Where did my character sheet go? I lost it.
Did you
All
double
right.
click on it and it's now ghosted at the top of your screen?
Mhm. So many clicks. I just can't. All right. So just clicking like mad everywhere I go. Electric. No, not burst. Where's the blast? Oh, there we go. That's all good. Oh, that's Morgan's. Never mind. I thought that was. That's 18 to hit.
18 will hit.
Right. So it's actually DC 30 because I auto attack, power attack.
Ow.
I know,
DC
right?
30.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh yes. And then it was because it was mid leap move by. I will continue my leap and land over here.
I don't think you have to worry about it. I rolled a 1 to get a 12,
Oof.
which is a difference of 18, which is enough to instantly take her out of the fight.
Yeah.
So what happens, Al? I know you leap and then you throw a lightning
So,
bolt at her.
Mid leap, he sort of digs deep and harnesses like a supercharged lightning bolt, and she almost like the allies that are right there beside her. She almost appears like in negative image for a second as the lightning bolt just engulfs her, and then they're a little blinded as it fades out, and she just slumps to the ground, and he continues that leap and lands there on the edge of the precipice.
Hurts her, but she is incapacitated, so that takes us out of combat, guys.
Woo!
What would you like to do?
Hey. Or are we gonna get the lamp? Or where are we putting that?
Approach.
Tracy's gonna come down, pistol in hand, and kind of stand over Dr. Nochin. So, are we taking her back as a POW, or
I think perhaps she's too dangerous. To hold her would allow her to use her magics to possibly escape. She knows too much about this lamp. I think operational security demands that she be executed.
I offer you my pistol.
Okay.
You want the honors?
I will do it.
Mara
So,
will slip in very quickly and snatch that amulet off before her face gets splattered.
Finally got
and,
the toy.
Finally gets the toy.
You guys could
nothing
just
else-
roll her into the abyss.
no. When you
We
don't,
don't
see,
take chances around here.
Yeah, we don't take.
Right.
We are a finely honed military unit. We're not gonna let that body just disappear from sight without being sure she's dead.
Yeah, the return of Nochin. No, we'll skip that, thanks.
Yeah.
Doesn't she get like a cigarette or a blindfold or something?
Well, she's unconscious, so smoking would not be really feasible.
That's what she got, a
She's
knuckle
already
sandwich.
smoking.
That's true. So if nothing else happens before Hal's action comes around, I will finishing attack with a pistol to the head.
Mark is definitely sitting on top of her.
That's liable to be messy, Mark.
Yeah, well, you know. Gotta do what you gotta do.
Indeed.
When he missed the war crime.
Or only war crimes if they're recorded, and I kick the body over the edge. Now she's in the abyss.
Shall we get this lamp out of here?
Did we ever figure out what we were gonna did we ever figure out what we were gonna do with this?
I thought we were going to take it back to my other plane. Where no mortal can get their hands on it.
Because you said your whatever doesn't
Hey,
care
dude.
about wishes.
Yeah.
Doesn't need them.
He's not gonna give it to some Italian guy or anything.
No. I shot him, so he's a little dead.
Ah,
That guy
Not
wasn't
that.
real, remember?
Still dead.
That's still
No.
bad.
Whatever he was.
no, that like all of this is like it's all real adjacent.
Alex, does the gypsy work like a Namekian Dragon Balls? Does it only speak Arabic?
Does the genie work that way, you mean?
Yeah.
I've got a bad feeling about this.
You're not the only one.
You're not sure. Give me an expertise mythology check.
Well, the most important role of my life. God, I don't know anything about mythology. I got a 5.
There is a god.
There are several.
There were the god.
So you roll a natural 1 on your expertise mythology check, and I just sent you a message what you know that it knows.
Oh Lord.
Oh Jesus, nope. Wait.
Pick up this thing. Is it still in a stone tower?
That's up to Hobbs if he's willing to bring the stone down.
I'm trying to see.
Is Hobbs willing?
Mur, you do
Dun, dun, dun.
still feel that great amount of magical energy inside you as well.
So with the necromancer dead and she's full of the Holy Ghost, she will do a few quick zoomy laps through the temple. Just I'm overstimulated and I need to do something with this. Do I think I could regurgitate that back into the people outside?
You do think that?
Okay. So she does zoomy super fast in the air, and then she just shoots out of the secret passage that Trace found.
Awesome.
Secret tunnel.
Secret tunnel.
I'm trying to decide. This thing is bad news, and I don't feel like giving it to a Warlock's patron is a good idea.
You wouldn't do anything with it.
I mean, if Warlocks didn't need any power, they wouldn't have patron. I mean, if patrons didn't need any powers, they wouldn't have any Warlocks.
No, the power that he has is more than this lamp has.
Well,
Says him.
that's true. So how well do you know this guy who owns your soul?
Pretty well. We had a pretty long conversation on this. All started
Hobbs
out.
and Mark, I thought we've already had this discussion and we agreed that this was the best course of action based on our knowledge of magical things.
Based off his knowledge of magical things. And his knowledge of magical things is in debt to some demon?
You failed to bring these concerns up before when we discussed it.
Yeah,
But now the item is in hand and you're changing the plan.
we're on a time crunch. Before we were on a time crunch. Do I know if other entities can use this besides humans or monsters?
Would that be a deception check on Hobbs's part?
That's not even a deception check. That's honest.
You think that yes, some entities could still use the power of the lamp. You think that there's definitely a cutoff line where you think it would be useful for an entity to do such a thing. A great old one certainly wouldn't need to make wishes, is what you think,
But
because they sort of have reality bending powers anyway.
But they would still have control of the artifact.
Right? They'd be able to put someone else in the lamp if they wanted to.
Or give it to anybody else.
Or give it to anybody else, yes.
Just
Okay.
imagine Hobbs in the lamp. This is crazy.
Yeah, this is not good. I think your sugar daddy can give out the lamp to anybody if he wants to.
Can and will are two different things.
Can, should, will. I'm not willing to gamble that.
I mean, like, are you gonna get like Italian guide if you don't bring back the lamp?
Possible.
It's a bummer.
It is.
I'll go ahead and lower the pillar.
Looking at Hobbs, looking at Leon, looking at Hobbs, looking at Leon.
Mur could also use the ambient magical energy that she has stored up to open the lamp if she wanted to.
I think she's.
But then she wouldn't be able to save the innocent people outside.
Yeah, and her focus is totally the innocent people outside. Ultimate power? Who needs that? Let's help people. Without using the ultimate power, apparently.
the true hero in this ragtag group of soldiers.
How far are we into the war?
Not far.
42.
Not far at all.
Not far.
Less than a year.
Well,
I don't
Well,
want
the
to.
United
less
States
than
is
less than a
than
year for America.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
A couple years
the
for.
rest of the world's been getting beat up for a little while.
I will. You know what? I trust you guys. So, everybody gather around. And let's go ahead and get paid like monsters should. And I will go ahead and summon the Genie of the Lamp in Arabic.
Oh God, I'm so glad I'm outside.
Regurgitating all that power.
Right? Yeah, I'm so glad I'm outside. Jesus.
So you rolled a 1 in expertise mythology, so I can't tell you anything.
That's okay.
So you rub
Who
the
likes a
lamp.
clean ending anyway?
What do you say when you rub the lamp?
Apparently, he told your mom a joke in Arabic, and now the genie's angry.
Hmm.
Don't worry. It was a mythology, not a linguistics check. Calm down. I will say, great genie of the lamp, hear our plea. Grant us the 3 wishes, please.
Nice rhyme.
So
I was gonna do a limerick, but I'm not Scottish, so I was.
So the lamp, when you say that and you rub it, it begins to rattle and roll, and this black smoke begins to rise up out of the spout on the end. And
Can I make a magic roll?
yeah, you
Is-
can.
Whether
It's
that's,
black smoke good.
is that a positive or a negative result?
Eh,
Or neutral?
As far as I'm concerned, it was to open
20.
the lock on the place, wasn't it? The ritual.
The ritual was to unlock the lamp itself.
Oh,
28 on the
So
magic.
with a 28, you think that black smoke is definitely a bad sign.
Okay. Can I hold on to that for a second? By hold on, I mean get it somewhere where it's not going to kill all of us.
You do feel the lid on the top of it begin to rattle and roll.
That's not a good sign.
Here, you can just drop it and we can leave. Just throw it in the pit over there. If you do it real fast.
Hobbs.
you know what? I got nothing to lose. My people are dead. My country's dead. The DMA ain't gonna give me shit, so I'm gonna take my gamble here.
All right, everybody come over here and hold hands real fast in case, Hobbs and or everything else explodes.
Don't forget Mur.
With that 28, how much time can I roughly guesstimate Hobbs and all of us have?
You would guess less than 30 seconds.
Would that be enough time to say, grab it and shift?
That sounds like an initiative check to me.
Oh boy.
I agree.
Between
Oh.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Did Alex freeze?
Hobbs and Leon.
There it goes.
Sorry.
Sure.
All right, I rolled a 1 for the lamps initiative.
Oh, that's appropriate.
That's extra tense.
Ooh.
That is.
Okay.
Here we go.
1, 2, 3.
Great.
5.
Why isn't? Oh, that was mine. Okay.
Goes GM.
So Hobbs, you got a 21. Leon got a 7.
Yep.
The lamp got a 1. So Hobbs, you do in this flash in the seconds of what is boiling down. Are you sure you want to open the lamp?
Yeah, I'm gonna open the lamp.
So you see that Leon is coming to do something, probably, something bad, and you
Not bad. I wouldn't say bad's the word. I'm not trying to do anything harmful to Hobbs.
right. So Hobbs, you open the lamp, and black smoke fills the entire room that you guys are in. And you hear this deep, powerful, booming voice in your head. It says, if it is wishes you seek fulfilled, step inside and see my will.
Step inside the lamp.
And before you can respond to that, you do see these black hands erupt out of the base of the lamp, and they grab a hold of you by the jaw, and they suck you down into the lamp.
Okay.
And The lid claps back on and it clatters to the ground.
What the heck?
Oh my days.
Ritual was not completed. Black smoke coming out of a lamp is never a good sign, especially not when genies are involved.
So, Hobbs, I've got good news and I've got bad news. The good news is he does grant your wishes, quote unquote. The bad news is you are trapped inside a pocket reality inside the lamp while the genie feeds on your soul until you die.
5 years.
5
How
years.
5 years?
5 years. That's okay. I'll take that. I would like to wish for Leon to keep his powers and get his soul back. I would like to wish that the Axis' powers leader gains slight suicidal tendencies. And I would like to wish the rise of the ancient Egyptian empire and its gods again.
Awesome. And all of that stuff happens inside the matrix, inside the lamp that the genie has stuck you into.
No. It's okay.
And you are none the wiser, unfortunately.
But you're having a great time. As far
Another
as you know,
5 years.
as far as Hobbs is concerned, Hobbs is still in the war. Everything is great. Leon gets to be a wonderful member of society again. Good job, Hobbs. What would the rest of you guys like to do?
Hearts to you, friend.
I mean, we
you
just
wanna stick with the plan. Hobbs is gone. Hobbs is not coming back.
Hobbs is extra gone.
there's no way to retrieve him.
No.
No.
Not from a gen. Not when you ask for things without the proper ritual being completed. And the sacrifices that need to be made have not been completed.
That could be a season 2 problem.
Yeah.
At least for now.
Yeah, keep a hold of that necromancer's gem just in case, though.
Yeah. I can store it amongst the dimension that I come from. Well, I have an ability to go to, as we agreed upon earlier.
The lamp or the gem?
The lamp. I would suggest we keep the lamp and the gem separate.
Yes, I agree.
I don't know much
If there are
about
no
the
further
hocus.
objections,
I don't know much about the hocus pocus, but can we take that back to headquarters? The gem? Can anybody else use it?
Could
I
probably be
believe
used.
Myrrh wanted it, I thought.
I didn't
Yeah,
think it
mer
was-
channels through a gym.
But I didn't think that was. I didn't think they were compatible. Like I said, I don't know the hocus pocus.
Nor do I, but perhaps she can study it and learn things about it, if nothing else.
Okay. Can we go now, sir? I mean,
I think our mission here is complete.
I'll meet y'all back at camp.
okay.
Awesome.
Do you have
So-
a way to exit this? Oh, sorry. That the Nazi camp, not. I'm sorry. Urge.
So, Myrrh, outside, what does it look like as you pour life into all of the desiccated husks outside?
So, with her newly appointed halo, this should be a majorly beautiful, awe-inspiring, triumphant moment for her. But what it really looks like is a dog retching over and over and over again. And just as she retches up these, globs of light, they reconnect with their host, and they begin to reform and take shape. So by the last one is on their feet, like her ribs are exposed, and she's like still retching up the Holy Ghost.
That's awesome. That's gruesome, but that's awesome. Holy cow. Okay. So you bring all the folks back. We'll just sort of fast forward a little bit here because we're running a little low on time. But everybody is able to come back through the soul vault that Myrrh had. Thankfully, that didn't go into the lamp with Hobbs.
Right.
I'm sorry, Brian.
No.
And you guys return to the real world. with one dead necromancer and one less magic lamp in the world.
Mark, can we get the teenager before we leave?
Yeah, sure.
Thank
And
you.
I'll just pop. Can I just like pop back in?
Yeah, you can pop in and out.
Okay.
Imagine
just gonna-
Mark just comes back going, "Yes, it was clowns again."
Mark doesn't come back at all. But your German teenager does kind of fall through, and he's like, "Oh my god."
Oh my god.
Yeah. We showed him some stuff before depositing him back in reality.
Oof.
And Mark doesn't return.
Yeah.
Aww.
Does Leon return from Haster?
Oh, he does, yeah.
Okay.
Unless that scene goes down a very different way than I imagined.
No, Haster's very happy to receive the lamp.
Okay. And he will return. The lamp is safe.
Awesome.
Let's save us again.
Cool. You guys return to Allied Intelligence. You are met with Preston Harrison, with Winnie, and with General Patton. They thank you for your contributions in the opening days of Operation Torch. The American forces have moved their way forward, established a beach hunt here in Morocco. They have also begun the operation of liberating the city of Casablanca, and everybody is looking east, preparing for the next phase of the war, ready to bring some semblance of peace, justice in the American way against the totalitarian forces looking to subjugate the world before their might. So thank you, everybody. I think that's as good a place as any for us to stop, unless you guys want to have a little interaction with each other before I head off into the finale. Into the conclusion, sorry.
Roll that conclusion. I think we're good.
Cool. So yeah, that was Operation Torch. I did not expect it to end the way that it ended, but you can never be too surprised when it comes to these guys, huh? Thank you so much for joining us tonight here at the Untold Stories Project and for our weekly dose of Titan City shenanigans. Your support and viewership is what makes this all possible, and we here at USP appreciate you guys so much. We will return here next week, same bat channel, but a different bat time. So as a thank you for hanging out with us these past 3 serials, next week we'll be doing our chat back for the first 3 episodes. And the schedule will look a little different. We'll be starting at 8 p.m. Eastern, and for the first half hour, we're going to be answering any and all questions we get leading up to the show. So any questions you would like to ask the cast, please submit to me on our public Discord so that I can have those ready to go when we get started. And if you have any questions for me in particular, as like GM questions or anything, send those over to Andy on the Discord, and he'll get those together to ask me. And then we'll monitor chat while answering those questions and answer the rest of the questions hopefully at 8:30 p.m. Once we're out of questions, we'll head off for the night, but not before you get a special sneak peek at our last Titan City serial for this year. So please get those questions in as soon as possible so we'll be able to answer them while you watch. I do want to give a huge thank you to both Fen and Bridget for being our special guests for this serial.
Yes, welcome. It was great.
Yeah, you guys really made this show special for me, and I appreciate you lending your sparkling talent and wit to our efforts here at USP. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate you.
Thank you guys for having us.
Thank you very much. It's been great.
It was a fun time.
Yes.
As always, please follow Fen at Guild of the Phoenix here on Twitch, and Bridget over at Symphony Entertainment Gaming and Art over on Facebook. Those are 2 great places to catch great games, especially horror stuff with Bridget, and Fen runs all sorts of fun stuff on Guild of the Phoenix.
Yeah,
I'm always happy to see his games.
I run a little bit of everything, and none of it's the same. I'm coming to realize, and I'm just like, oh yeah, that's neat. But yeah, no, there's a variety of things. So you can pick your poison, as it were. But yeah, we stream weekly. So.
As always, please join us on Monday nights for our Werewolf the Apocalypse game, Born of Rage, in which I play a surly ex-cop turned werewolf, and subscribe to our podcast, Something Dragons, where a group of teenage girls discover the great fun that is tabletop RPGs. Follow the link in chat for our public Discord to keep the conversation going throughout the week. Friendly reminder that the event submission deadline for Yukon has been extended to October 2nd. I will be running 7 events personally at the convention, and thanks to SourceCat, I just realized that they're adding a slot for me because I am bad at counting. Go figure. So if you ever want a chance to play in one of my games, this is the perfect opportunity. I'll be running 2 Titan City games as well as some Marvel, DC, and Fallout content. Other members of the USP group submitting events include Andy, Liz, Bridget, and Laura. We'll also be doing some special streams leading up to the convention, so make sure you register and be on the lookout for USP content coming soon. Please also remember that heroes wear masks and Black Lives Matter. Thank you and good night.